What's up, guys? Bizarre 1000 here. Told you I'll be back. Check out my other video, Mr. Perfect video pickup and inner history of the IC title. This is gonna be my WE main event review. So the new show, W main event review on Ion. Guys, I gotta admit, it's a pretty freaking cool show. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty awesome. You start off and you see a little clip from, I believe this is going to be from CM Punk's upcoming DVD. I'm not positive, but it seemed like that. And then you see a little clip of Sheamus, where you have even Jericho, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, talking about Sheamus. And, I mean, it was really cool. I enjoyed that. You've seen some interviews from both of them in about 15 minutes. First, you start the show with Michael and The Miz talking about CM Punk and all that. And Sheamus, the main event. It was pretty cool. They got about 15 minutes they got into it. It was The Miz and Michael Cole as the announcers. I'm still not sure when they did this. I'm not sure how this is, but I don't know if it really matters when they did it. It's interesting though. I'm intrigued. I like this show because if they continue like this, which I'll go ahead, The Miz and Sheamus and CM Punk, man, this was a great match. I mean, I really enjoyed this match a lot. I do wish they would have made it more like the main event, so the opening show, but again, it was still an overall good hour. It was a good produced hour. I hope they continue it like this, and not later on switch it up to some crappy guys who you're never gonna see on Raw or SmackDown. I do hope they continue this. I hope it doesn't start out like Heat and Superstars started out really good, and then all of a sudden you're gonna get basically nobody on there, and you're basically gonna get a bunch of nobodies who want. Which it's okay if it's mid-carders, but I was thinking if they did this right, they could really. It reminded me of a UFC type boxing match feel, because after the match, CM Punk won. He used an exposed turnbuckle in the tights to win the match. Well, then they did interviews with Sheamus. They did an interview with CM Punk, which kind of reminded me of like a UFC type boxing match. They interviewed the guys before. They interviewed them afterwards, which I kind of liked it. It had that kind of feel to it, which I loved it. We did have another match. It was a tag team match. It was, what's her name? Zack Ryder and Santino picks up the win against Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel, which I did not like that at all, because I thought Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd, man, those guys were awesome. I mean, I want to see those guys more as tag. They had some killer moves in this match. I mean, that's what was tag wrestling at its finest. I mean, now that's tag team wrestling right there. Damn, guys, that's some good-ass wrestling right there. The overall takeaway from the show, it was a very good show. For an hour long, I mean, I just hope they don't, they keep using, next week, it's scheduled, it's Randy Orton versus The Big Show. I'm like, okay, that's a pretty good match. Not a huge Big Show fan or Orton fan, but you know what? I look at it from this perspective. If they keep it with, big stars, and they can easily still throw in, a couple mid-carders on there, too. And you have big stars, I'm like, okay, keep the big stars on there, too. I was talking, my stepdad came over and watched it with me, and we were talking, okay, let's say they have the Miz calling the match. Okay, let's say they do a thing where they have an Intercontinental title match on there, and you have the champion doing interviews. Because the challenger doing an interview, and then, the title probably wouldn't change hands anyway. So why not do something like that, where it's almost like a UFC type feel to it? Where you're giving title matches, and you get a build for it. You'll do 1 or 2 matches before the main event. And The Miz or whoever the champion is defending the title. Or why not bring back, the TV title for, for only basically that show? Why not bring back, or the light heavyweight, or, a middleweight championship? Why not do something like that? Or like the middleweight heavyweight title? Just so like these young mid-carders have a title to go for. You know, give these mid-carders something to go for. Yeah, basically the mid-card title right now is pretty much the U.S. title. I mean, I look at the Intercontinental title as one of the most prestigious titles in wrestling right now. Again, why not love that? Overall takeaway from Main Event, Main Event, was a great show. I really enjoyed it. My only problem was I just hope they don't just cancel it and send it back, you know, to where it's like Superstars was, when all you're gonna see is like Zack Ryder's, Alex Riley's, which these guys do deserve to be on TV, don't get me wrong. But to keep me really entertained in the show and to keep the ratings up on the show, you need to have your big stars on there. Like when John Cena gets back, put him on there. John Cena versus who's a rival? Alberto Del Rio. You do something like that. And another way they could keep this thing going, do a tag match. Daniel Bryan and Kane versus whoever. Or Daniel Bryan and Kane versus each other. I mean, they could do this with some of these matches they got lined up. I mean, they could do a Rey Mysterio versus whoever. I mean, they got so many people there. They could have The Miz take on somebody for the Intercontinental title, have him defend his title against like a Sin Cara or whoever. Which I don't really know if put Ryback on there, not really in the main event, unless it's against a really good opponent. But other than that. But guys, I'm rambling on. I did enjoy the show. Next week we got Big Show and Randy Orton, which I think could be a phenomenal match. They can even throw a Divas match on there. Why not give the Divas a chance? Hell, put the Divas title on the line in the main event, or put a title, make it a title match. Put a title match on there. But guys, I'm rambling. This is R1000 for your WWE main event review. Get 2 thumbs up. Good show. Hope it's better next week.